Hey everybody, Alyssa here from Becoming Memories. Thanks so much for joining me for another process video. This video is part of the Learning is an Adventure YouTube hop, and we are all doing back to school layouts. You'll find the list of all of the ladies participating down in the description below. Make sure you check them out. So I'm starting out with this cut file from Paige Evans. This was a back to school cut file. You'll see it here again in a second. And those are two photos of my kiddos from 2 years ago when they were starting 5th and 7th grade. There is that cut file there. I backed it with some of these papers from the Webster's Pages Hall Pass collection, which is quite old now. It's getting up there. But it is my favorite back to school collection to date. I normally am not a very theme oriented scrapper, and this one won me over. However, that paper right there that I'm going to end up using with those math flashcards on it is actually from an even older Fancy Pants school collection that I cannot remember the name of at the moment. So I'm just playing around with the placement there and trying to decide how I want to do this. And now I'm pulling out the gesso because I do like that background paper, and I think it's going to be a very cool pattern to put some florals and bright colors on top of. But I just needed to mute it down just a little bit because it was just competing a little too much with the photos for me. And I've had this paper for years and years. Oh, now the gesso's dry and it warped slightly, that paper, and so, which is odd because gesso normally doesn't, but I'm just sticking it down to, that's just a cheap sheet of white paper that came in an album. Like, you know, when you get those postbound albums sometimes and they have those white filler sheets. It's just one of those. So that just kind of helped flatten everything out. So I'm just trimming down my photos, deciding on an arrangement here. Now I'm going to add a little molding paste texture. So I just squirted a little of that Liquitex molding paste right onto the edge of a credit card. Well, actually an expired Sam's Club card. Credit card works too. So does a hotel room key, by the way. If you accidentally leave a hotel room with your key still in your pocket, those work too. So yeah, fun little tip there. I'm just smushing it through this stencil. This is a Crafter's Workshop stencil that I've had for a long time. It's very well loved, as you can see. And I know that the cut file and the photos are going to take up the majority of my background there, and so I'm just going around the edges and kind of picking and choosing parts of the stencil to put the molding paste through. And I love that Liquitex molding paste in that squeeze bottle because, as you can see, it's really easy to just squirt directly onto that credit card, and then there's no paintbrush to clean. And you don't have to use a piece of packaging or something to squirt the molding paste onto and then transfer it to whatever you're using to scrape it through and blah blah blah. So anyway, now the molding paste is dry because of the magic of editing, and I am working on figuring out what I want to map my photos on. This paper is from an Adrienne Lumen collection with Webster's Pages, I think. It's not from that Hall Pass collection. Strangely, I intended to use pretty much strictly that Hall Pass collection, and my background paper and my photo mat there ended up being from a different collection. But these florals, I mean, when do you ever see a floral this beautiful in a back to school collection? Come on. I mean, can you even beat that? I don't think so. I probably would have bought the collection even if I didn't have children in school just for that floral. So now I've decided I want to put a strip of something dark across the bottom there. I'm going to go with a piece of 6x6 white brown. No, that is not white. Brown cardstock from a 6x6 American Crafts pad. And what happened here was that I don't realize it at first. I put one of the pieces down upside down, and because it's a textured cardstock, they look different. And you'll see here in a second, I'm going to glue them down using ATG tape, which is ever so difficult to move. And And then I realized I put the adhesive on the wrong side. And so I stick it down anyway because I'm like, well, it doesn't really matter, right? The texture is down on one side and up on the other side. And I'm like, yeah, it matters. So I pulled another piece out and cut it in half and glued it down the right way. I think it was the way the light was reflecting off of the cardstock that just really threw me, and I just couldn't live with it. So, all right, so now we have the cut file and the photos in their final resting place, and I'm just gonna play around a little bit more with where I want those florals to go. The back to school words there on my cut file are going to comprise the majority of my title. I'm just going to add a date and their grade levels with these Heidi Swapp tile stickers. I got these at Tuesday Morning. I have no idea what line they're from. Maybe Hawthorne, maybe not. Whatever collection it is, I don't have it. So then this is where I realized I wanted to also add the month there, and in order to fit it, I have to move my date over. So we started school in July. We homeschool, and normally we do start in the month of July. And what we do is we take the month of June off, we take the month of August off, and we do some school in July. And the reason for that is that it helps us meet our required number of days, but also kind of shortens the school year a little bit in the sense that because we already have 4 weeks of schooling when we kick off in September, that means that we can take more days off throughout the year and still sort of hit that required number of days in May, so that we're done with school in May. So anyway, I've just used those same letter stickers to put the children's grades that they were beginning there in the corner of the photo. And now it's time for some gold Heidi Swapp. Nope, I'm almost out of Heidi Swapp, actually. Gold Mist. And, it's not time for that either. I'm going to use some washi tape strips. These are also from Tuesday Morning, and this is an Amy Tangerine washi tape book that I have had for a while and not used, and I decided I was going to use it. Gosh darn it, because I bought it and I gotta use it. I've really been working hard at being so much better about that. Sorry about my head being in the photo so much. I didn't realize. I think I was zoomed in a little bit closer for this video, and I just didn't realize how often that was happening. That is the ephemera from the same collection as that background paper. And I cannot read what line that is, but maybe you can. You could pause it and zoom in or something if you really want to know. But it's old. It's probably 10 years old, so I'm sure not still available. And decided to go ahead and glue down my florals real quick. That is a fine tip bottle I got from Amazon, and the Scotch Quick Dry adhesive. And I just trimmed off that blue flower there on top because it was going to go off the page, and I wanted to make sure that it didn't go off the page because I wanted that bit of blue up there at the top. And so I just cut it off and tucked it in and glued it somewhere else. It's one of the things I love about fussy cutting is, especially with florals, it's so versatile. See, I did the same thing with that blue flower there on the bottom. And this is a Studio Calico sheet of star stickers that I have almost killed. You can see many of them are gone. I've probably been using that sheet for a while. I've probably had it for 5 years, and I've probably been using it on and off for 5 years, and I'm ready to kill it. So we get almost there with this layout. And I'm drawing some lines now here on the bottom for a short amount of journaling. I don't really have the space for a long bit of journaling on this layout. And there's my head again. I'm sorry, guys. I don't know why that happened so much in this video, but I'm just journaling there with the gold gel pen so that it matches the spatters that I'm about to put on, but also because it's subtle, and I just really hate it when the journaling takes away from the design of my layout. I know that's kind of dumb because what we're doing is storytelling, but when I put all this time and effort and work into a design, I just often don't feel like journaling on my design. I don't know. That's crazy, I know. But that was Shimmers in Glorious Day. And I think I'm going to do a few shimmers in another color. These are some Studio Calico mists that I got at Tuesday Morning recently, and they turned out to not be the color they looked at all. And so that's what my debate was there when I was trying to decide. I haven't yet added swatches of them to my swatch book, and I need to do that. So here are some close-ups. That was the finished layout, and here is the finished layout, or however I should be saying that. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you will subscribe. I hope you'll come back for the next video, and I will see you later, friends. Bye-bye.